On May 23rd, during a phone call with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, U.S. President Donald Trump brought up two notable fighter jets, the F-22 and the F-47. He asked if Japan would be interested in purchasing them. Had Ishiba responded with a simple yes, it's likely a contract would have landed on his desk by June. Now, let's set aside the F-47 for a moment and focus on the F-22. Since the early 1990s, U.S. law has strictly prohibited the export of the F-22 Raptor. Not a single unit has been sold abroad. So why is Trump suddenly trying to market it to Japan? Is there a real chance it could be exported? And would that be good or bad for Japan? This unexpected fighter jet pitch came during what was supposed to be a discussion about tariffs and the upcoming G7 summit in Canada. Trump shared details of recent defense deals in the Middle East and highlighted the capabilities of both the F-22 and the newer F-47. Ishiba didn't express clear interest, but he did say he was familiar with these aircraft. Many analysts believe this was a calculated move by Trump, offering a gift in exchange for tariff concessions. That gift included approving Japan's acquisition of U.S. steel and pitching advanced American jets like the F-22 and F-47. On paper, if the deal can be done, Japan would be the first country in the world to purchase the F-22, a clear upgrade for its air self-defense force. But things aren't so simple. From Japan's perspective, there's indeed a need for a jet like the F-22. It's still one of the world's best fighters in terms of all-around performance. Critics point out that its combat radius, around 470 miles, is too short for operations in the vast Indo-Pacific. That's true, but for Japan, it's sufficient. In a conflict with Russia over the northern territories, Japan's jets wouldn't need extended range. The islands are right above Japan, well within the F-22's reach. Combined with F-35, the F-22 could give Japan air superiority. Then legacy aircraft like the F-15J and F-2 could push back any adversary forces. But in practice, acquiring the F-22 would be incredibly difficult. This isn't the first time Japan has expressed interest. Back in the early 2000s, when Tokyo was planning to replace its aging F-4 Phantoms, it requested to buy the F-22. Lockheed Martin even proposed a downgraded export version. Still, the U.S. military rejected the idea, citing the aircraft's classified technologies, especially its stealth, electronics, and next-gen data links. Because of this rejection, Japan launched its own future fighter research in 2009 and started accepting international proposals in 2018 for a next-gen jet to enter service by 2030. Lockheed Martin once again offered a joint development plan, including tech transfers and co-manufacturing, but nothing materialized. By 2019, Japan had officially kicked off its own FX fighter project. So now, this latest pitch from Trump marks the third time Japan and the U.S. have discussed the F-22, and it's likely to fail again. Even Israel hasn't received F-22, despite being America's closest ally in the region. Back in 2020, during Trump's previous term, the U.S. announced plans to sell F-35 to the UAE. Reports emerged suggesting Israel would receive an even more advanced stealth jet to maintain its regional edge, but nothing came of it. And now in 2025, with Trump back in office, not even the UAE, now a designated major defense partner, has received the F-35. Israel still has no F-22. So why hasn't the F-22 ever been exported? Two main reasons. One, its sensitive technologies, and two, its production line has been dismantled. The final F-22 rolled off the line in 2011. Since then, the assembly equipment has been mothballed or destroyed. While the blueprints still exist, restarting production would be enormously expensive. Many suppliers have moved on or shut down F-22 component manufacturing. Restarting everything would require massive investment and retraining skilled workers. According to a RAND Corporation study, rebooting F-22 production would cost at least $10 billion. That would push the unit cost to astronomical levels, making it far less cost-effective than an F-35 or F-47. If Japan truly wanted F-22 now, they'd likely be secondhand. The U.S. previously planned to retire about 30 older Raptors starting in 2023. These jets were primarily used for training and aren't combat-ready without upgrades. It would take around $1.8 billion to restore them to full capability, a bill the U.S. Air Force wasn't willing to pay. Congress eventually blocked the retirement, fearing it would weaken U.S. air power. So, if Japan gets F-22, it would probably be these older models. And paying top dollar for secondhand aircraft, even Raptors, may not be worth it. Japan might be better off waiting for the sixth-generation F-47. The F-47, still under development, was introduced by Trump as a next-gen fighter that allies could help fund and potentially purchase. The export version would be a downgraded model, but still superior to the F-22. The catch? It's expensive and years away. In terms of cost, former U.S. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall predicted that each F-47 could cost up to $300 million, and export versions would be even more expensive. For reference, Japan paid $130 million per F-35, while the U.S. paid just $80 million. If Japan wants F-47, the price could exceed $500 million per jet. So, why is Trump pushing these aircraft now? Some believe it's to undermine Japan's Tempest fighter program, a major multinational sixth-gen fighter effort involving the UK and Italy. Notably, it's the only G7 fighter development plan without U.S. involvement. That's significant. Since the F-2, Japan has always participated in U.S.-led fighter programs, investing heavily in the Joint Strike Fighter program. This time, however, Japan is going solo, and America isn't happy. Trump's pitch could be seen as an attempt to lure Japan back into the U.S. orbit, possibly abandoning the Tempest fighter project. By offering the F-22 and F-47, he's hoping Japan will reconsider its independent path. Still, the plan has plenty of hurdles. Can the F-22 legally be sold? Would Japan really pay for used aircraft? And could the U.S. actually derail Japan's Tempest fighter project? Let's look at where the Tempest program stands. Japan's sixth-gen fighter is based on a new operational concept called Joint All-Domain Operations. It emphasizes stealth, mobility, information warfare, and integration with unmanned platforms. Currently, BAE Systems is leading development, with Mitsubishi Heavy Industries handling manufacturing and Italy providing key tech components. A prototype is expected to fly by 2027, with full service entry by 2035. In contrast, the U.S. F-47, while promising, is still shrouded in secrecy. Only a testbed has flown, and details remain scarce. Its biggest strength will be integration with drones and space-based assets, but that's still years from reality. In the end, the F-22 and F-47 offers may be less about genuine cooperation and more about strategy. Whether Japan takes the bait or sticks to its independent path remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the future of air power in the Indo-Pacific is being quietly decided right now.